I actually had a hard time deciding whether to see A Quiet Place Day 1 or Horizon, but ultimately I figured I couldn't continue calling myself the guy with no name if I didn't see the Western. So if you didn't know what Horizon: An American Saga Chapter 1 was about, you'd be forgiven because none of the trailers really did a good job of explaining it, beyond it being Kevin Costner's latest foray into the Western genre. Even after seeing it, it's kind of hard to describe as it follows many characters and storylines that aren't too connected. However, the gist of it is, it follows various different pioneers and the perils and hardships they face on the American frontier in the 1850s and 60s, particularly revolving around the city known as Horizon, which is being advertised as a great new settlement with lots of opportunities for anyone willing to brave the journey. By the way, I'm the guy with no name. I review movies, TV shows, and video games, and while I got you here, why don't you go ahead and subscribe so you can stay up to date on all my future content. I'm trying to get to 200 subscribers as quickly as possible, so I really do appreciate it. Anyways, let's get back to the review. So Horizon: An American Saga Chapter 1 was co-written, produced, and directed by Kevin Costner, who also stars as one of the leads, a cowboy by the name of Hayes Ellison. The film has an ensemble cast, which includes Sam Worthington as First Lieutenant Trent Gephardt, Jenna Malone as Ellen Harvey, a woman with a mysterious past who is on the run, Abby Lee as Marigold, a prostitute who tries to befriend Costner, and Sienna Miller and Georgia McPhail as Francis and Lizzie Kittredge, a mother and daughter who settled in Horizon. So I went in not with high expectations, but I really did want to like the movie, and I was rooting for it. I do like Westerns, and I wish more were made, but unfortunately I did not end up liking it very much, and when I was sitting in the theater I was kind of trying to think about why exactly I wasn't enjoying it, and I could really boil it down to a few glaring issues. First of all, the movie's too long. It's a little over 3 hours, and that doesn't, make me shy away immediately. There are plenty of 3+ hour movies that I enjoy, but this one, it was too long for what we got. The pacing was pretty slow and uneven. It meandered a lot, so I really think that was a poor decision. Apparently, this movie, if I'm not mistaken, cost about $100 million to make, not including marketing. It's projected to bomb at the box office, and Chapter 2 is right around the corner in August, and then apparently Kevin Costner wants to make 4 total. So I think a much better decision would have been to take the stories of Chapter 1 and 2, trim them down, and combine them into one movie, which could have come out this weekend, and then take the stories of 3 and 4, trim them down, combine them, and have them come out in August. That way, theoretically, we would get 2 better quality movies and get the complete story, regardless of if the first one bombs or not. But now it sounds like we're going to get 2 subpar movies potentially and not even get the complete story. Also, I was really surprised at how many actors did not do a very good job at acting. Kevin Costner and Sam Worthington, among some others, did well, but there were a lot of actors, I thought, who didn't do well. Not to call her out, especially because she's a younger actress, but the actress who played Lizzie Kittredge in particular was supposed to be upset and distraught at times, and rightfully so, but her performance took me out of the movie because I could definitely tell she was acting, and yeah, she ended up being probably my least favorite character. As if that wasn't enough, I also found the story, script, and editing to be not near as good of quality as they should have been. As far as the story goes, there were certain things, like the passage of time, for instance, that was not made very apparent. We'd spend a portion of time with this certain storyline, jump to another one, keep going, and then eventually come back to that storyline. And we could tell that some things had changed, but I couldn't tell if a day, a week, a month or even a year passed by, sometimes even from scene to scene. I couldn't tell, like, now, is this the same day? Is this a different day? It was very confusing, and it definitely didn't help that there were a lot of storylines that, were disjointed, and also characters in a lot of different situations make kind of some weird, illogical decisions, in my opinion, or unnatural decisions. The dialogue was good in some parts, but in other areas it was really rough and unnatural, and that might have contributed to my feeling of some actors not doing a great job. Maybe it was the dialogue in certain cases, and it was almost impossible to deliver lines and like that and not sound like you're acting. And this is all wrapped up together beautifully in in my opinion, subpar editing job. Don't get me wrong though, I didn't hate it. There were things that I liked. Like I said, certain actors did well, I thought, and there were scenes in the movie that I thought worked. Most of the action, if not, I mean, just about all, I would say, worked, and I enjoyed it. And I also appreciated the overall approach of the story, which was not all Native Americans were good, not all Americans were evil, or vice versa. And, we definitely see atrocities and acts of kindness being committed by both parties at different points of the film. But other than that, I really wasn't a fan. I would rate Horizon: An American Saga Chapter 1 2.5 out of 5 stars, and it pains me to say that, but I was rooting for it. I left the theater really bummed. I guess I'll see Chapter 2. I'm not really that motivated to, but I'll mainly see it just to review it and let you guys know. I mean, maybe it's a step up from Chapter 1. Who knows? Let me know in the comments if you've seen Horizon, or if not, I'm guessing this review is not gonna push you to see it, that's for sure. If you want to look at the flip side of this situation, how Horizon is projected to bomb, and I guess in this case, quality-wise, you could say it deserves to. On the other side, I did do a video on Furiosa, which unfortunately bombed, but I thought it was really good and deserved to make a lot more money than it did. So check that out if you haven't already, and be on the lookout for future content. This is Guy with No Name, signing off.